Dain, how you doing, man? How's your day?
Good, good. We had a little break from heat. It was a nice day out finally, and able to get some work done without feeling like I was going to pass out there in 100-degree heat.
Well, you were able to have a relaxing time, man. I'm so juiced up for the interview you're about to do. Let
Yeah,
me tell you about my day, man. I went and said, you know what? Watching this gal's work ethic, I feel like I need to hit the gym even harder. So I ran 7 miles today just to get ready for the interview today, man. I'm like, all right, this is like a tenth of what she does in a day, but it's
yeah.
my little give back to her a little bit. Dain, the
Oh,
person we're having coming on, I got to tell you about her.
yeah,
First, I got to tell you a story. We all been there. All of you 30 somethings or older. You guys remember kind of growing up, late 80s, early 90s, get home, cartoons are on. You're like, okay, this is cool. But what I'm really waiting for is American Gladiator to come on. Sit there, watch the
oh yeah.
show. Afterwards, me and my buddies would go out and try to do all the events. I try to act like I would try to go out there and act like I was doing the pit. We'd actually have the tennis ball. My mom got so mad we busted so many windows out. You remember this? I even had the cool name.
Oh
My,
yeah.
my nickname was Fuego. I thought I was so cool because I had the name, got the little unitard, and was just ready to go. And then I realized that these guys do that for a living, and I wasn't going to be anything, right? So after that, the show went off in like '96, and there was a hiatus for quite some time,
Yeah,
made a
yeah.
resurgence in the 2000s, and then it came back, man, last year. American Gladiator came back. They just launched a new season in April of this year, and we were so blessed, man. There's a gal, Lu Faustin, we're going to be introducing in a minute. Not only was she one of the stars of the show, but I think she's a star of the community. Her work
Yeah.
with like bodybuilding and training, the way she gives back through tutorials, eating regimens. Obviously,
Yeah.
the show was so cool. But on top of that, was just maybe like I gotta ask her. I was following her one day, and I saw some of the work she's doing with the community, the kids,
Right.
man, giving back to the kids.
Yeah.
One of the kids even said, "Lou, you're a real one." And like she is, dude. When you meet her, she's so genuine
Yeah.
and so passionate, but also so willing to learn at the same time.
Right.
It's just kind of the best of both worlds, you know. So, with that being said, before I fanboy out too much, I'm gonna get to it, Dain, and bring on the guest of the week. Lou, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, ooh, that intro. I gotta make sure I level up. I measure up to those words. Thank you guys
Oh,
so
yeah.
much for having me. This is awesome.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Thank you
Lou,
for your time tonight. Absolutely.
absolutely. It's our pleasure, Lou. Thank you for your time. I know you're a busy gal. So then and I've got some questions prepped for it, and I'll jump into it. So question one, obviously before the American Gladiator days, before the lifting, the YouTube presence and the influencing that you've done with bodybuilding, and congrats on all the success, by the way. Very successful pedigree. On top of that, even the meal training, this whole Lewisphere, as I like to call it, that you created, going back in the day, maybe the day one. When did you get the itch for lifting, athleticism? Where did all this come from in your life? Where did it start, if you will? You know?
Mm.
Wow, that's a good one. I started going to the gym when I was very young. I come from a very athletic family. Like I've got Olympians in my family. My mother ran, she's a runner, she was a dancer. My father played soccer. My brother was a soccer player. My sister also ran track. So, it's my cousin ran in 4 Olympics. It's we're very competitive with each other as well as with other people. So so
Yeah,
I
I
remember
see.
yeah, so I remember being outside in the streets with my family, with my brothers and my sister. And then I started going to the gym. There was one day my father got gym membership,
Mhm.
Planet Fitness, right? That was where
Mhm.
we started. And I was 12 years old. And one day he pulls up and he's like, "Hey, you want to come to the gym?" Because what we used to do was he had a Bowflex in the house. He had a Bowflex. He had some rusty weights that didn't match. I think he got them from like the junkyard. And he had like an ab wheel and like an ab swing. And he would always see me doing that, like prior to inviting me out to to the gym with him. And so I went with him. I was like, of course I'm gonna go. I remember
Yeah.
going, not knowing what I was doing. I had no idea what I was doing, but I just kept going and I kept just trying out every machine. Like every day was full body day. I was
Mhm.
doing leg press, I was doing bench press, I was doing, I mean, is there a bench press at Planet Fitness? I was doing dumbbell weights, dumbbell
Yeah.
press,
Every day.
I
Yeah.
was doing everything, right? And then it just got to the point where I finally started to do some research, right? I went to
Mhm.
the library and I went online and I went on this portal to get workouts. There was bodybuilding.com, simplyshredded.com, all of these. And I started putting things together. And I've always loved muscle on a feminine physique.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, from Xena Warrior Princess to, you know, um, Thundercats,
Yeah.
like all even the cartoons that I watched had muscles. Okay.
Yeah.
It was only a matter of time before I was like, I want to look like that. I had my Barbie dolls and then I had my Xena,
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
so, fast forward to, I guess, through the years, I found bodybuilding because I remember looking at that and I was like, I want veins in my arms. Like
Yeah.
that was the thing. I said, I want to have veins in my arms. I didn't realize how hard it was.
Right.
I wouldn't get veins until like 10 years later, but I kept trying. I kept doing things. And my brother would take me to the gym as well. And it just kept, everyone around me was encouraging me. Everyone around me. And I was just like, you know what? After track season ended in college, I said I needed a reason to stay in shape and I wanted to push myself. And that's where I decided to fully commit to bodybuilding and then powerlifting and then strongman competitions. And voila, here we are with American Gladiators. So it's always been something that I didn't know I was going to be a gladiator, but I guess the background catered to becoming because I didn't stop.
It's only a matter of time, it sounds like. And I'm just listening to what you said about the vein, and my dad always told me the vein in his head popped out when he got angry. That's the only vein he ever had. No, I'm kidding. So no, but the physique thing you talked about, that it's so cool. And that's what drawn us to your style, Lou, is showing that girls can be just shredded and epic and just action pumped, is like the Stallones and the Arnolds, to get the Zenas and the Rouseys and that whole mindset, right? That's what we're talking about. And you bring that to the light, like, hey, I could be tough and I could be just as swole and even then some. And that's the whole reason. So Dain, help me, because I'll preach on this, Dain. Take it away, because I'll go.
Well, before you got into all the bodybuilding, you said your family did a various number of different sports and activities and disciplines, which is what they all are, is disciplines. What other sports did you kind of dip your toe in? You mentioned track as well. Were there a variety of other sports that you participated in, and then before you decided, okay, this is the path I want to go down with bodybuilding?
Yeah, I did a little bit of soccer because that's what my family was doing. But I joined my dad signed me up for a basketball team, right? It's like, she's tall, she's lengthy, she's long, she's gonna do well. I was trash. And so I realized,
oh, goodness.
I was like, yeah, I know my lane. I'm quick, and I'm just gonna stick to that.
Okay.
And do you feel like a lot of those sports, whether you had successes or failures in them, helped you along this path as far as staying disciplined and knowing how to put together a certain regimen and routine for yourself?
Oh, 100%. I think here's the thing. Like, I think people talk about motivation, right? I think more people should be talking about discipline, because when you have motivation, you're not always motivated. You don't always dig deep or want to do what it is that you know that you should be doing. Discipline, you do it whether you want to or you don't, because you're so focused on the outcome. You're like, you know what? I set up this for myself. I have to do it. I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to eat this, but I got to. I got these in my head. I'm not motivated to, but I'm disciplined to. And I think that's where we have to think about these words. And like, if you are really committed, because sometimes I did not like dieting. I did not like going to the gym, believe it or not. It's not every day I want to go to the gym, even to this day, but I'm like, nah, ain't no way. Listen, like, ain't no way. It's just part of my routine. It's my lifestyle. I became so disciplined that it became something that would be missing if I didn't do it. It's just ingrained within me. Every time I would move or live in a different city or a different country or whatever, I would find a gym. Like, it was like the gym, the where my laundry is and where the grocery store is. Those are the things that I pinpoint on a
non-negotiables, right? Non-negotiables.
Absolutely.
No. And I don't drive. Listen, I'm a city girl, so I never drove. So whatever I can find that an Uber will take me, or a train or a bus, whatever, or I'll walk through. But I became so disciplined through my work ethic, through just having those, just having that presence and that mind to, this is what I wanted, and I want to say that my family did help that, because my first competition, like I'm first generation American, like my parents are from the Caribbean. My mother and my father are both Haitian, and my mother knew nothing about bodybuilding, but she was the first one who would prep my meals. She's like, can I put a little bit of seasoning in this? I'm like,
I love that. I love that. That's awesome, man.
So it really does take a village. But at the end of the day, you got to have that discipline for yourself.
Yeah.
Lou, I saw that too. And I think it's so cool. I'm glad you mentioned that, because we are so big on celebrating cultures as well. I think you even posted about National Haitian Day. It's so cool. Like the heritage, right? And that the fact that mom and dad are just, adopting to something new that you want to do is cool. And you mentioned something, Dain, before you take two. It struck a chord in my mind because you talked about the village, right? Mom and dad helping you with this as well. And we see this so many days, and this is out of a place of love, but you can see a kid who maybe is either athletic or who is being maybe led down the wrong path with meals and maybe isn't healthy, right? Sometimes it goes back to the parents. Parents step in, they have to help with that too. So the support system that you had to help you have that discipline, it could have gone a whole different direction. But shout out to mom and dad for helping you have that early foundation. It's critical, right, Dan?
Absolutely. And especially, not only mom and dad, they can always talk to you from an authoritative platform, but when you have siblings that help you along as well, that even means more because they're invested in you as well. So it's great that they helped you along.
That's awesome.
And go ahead.
Well, I also want to say this, like my immediate family, like my mother, my father, my brother, and my sister, they supported, but I had uncles and aunts that were like, what are you doing? Like a woman shouldn't be like this. Like you shouldn't be in the gym like this. Like that's like, stop. This is too much. And it could have gone either way. And these are like my parents' siblings, you know what I mean? So it makes you think, what's yours is always going to be for you if you work for it. You will attract the right people if you are just really, and I said this before, but you are unapologetic in your pursuit. You're not going to waver. And the fact that I had my parents' support, I was like, all due respect, auntie, I love you, but I'm doing it.
Mom's got my back. I got you. Yeah, I love that.
100%.
That's awesome, man. And just to hear that, it's awesome. Yeah, Dain. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and with that discipline, obviously the American Gladiators came calling. What was that like whenever those talks started going from the time they started to you ultimately joining that crew? How was that journey for you?
Honestly, when they hit me up, I thought they were lying. I ignored it. I ignored it. So the casting director, the casting agent, he hit me up 3 times. He messaged me 3 times and I ignored all 3 of them. Well, 2 of them. And so the third one, he was like, hey, Lu, I would really love to talk to you about this opportunity. I think you'd be amazing for it. Please respond to me because this is the last time I'm going to reach out to you, but I really don't want this to go to waste. And I was looking through it and I was like, okay. And so I opened it up and I was like, hey, what's up? And he was like, awesome. Oh my God. He's like, I'd love to submit you. He's like, I'd love to talk to you about American Gladiator. And I was like, wait.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
The American Gladiators, because I grew up watching it as well. On Sundays after church, it was American Gladiators. It was wrestling, WCW or WWE, no, WWF before it became one. And it was like, those 2 things we watched. And then we watched strongman competitions, like me and my grandmother. Men running with fridges is what we watched.
Great time, man. Yeah, great time.
So it's only right that I'm here talking to you guys about American
Gladiator. It's awesome. Yeah, and we've had a few strong men and women on as well, and that's a whole nother, just the drive, the putting yourself through pain. That actually kind of leads me to my next question. They say this, we've had people say this in the past, so you could probably speak to this, Lu. There's a choose your definition of hard. So let me give you an example. They say, sometimes people get to be in their 20s and 30s and they don't take care of their body, don't eat right, don't work out, and they've got back problems, they've got knee problems, they've got kidney problems, right? Or you could say, I'm in my 30s or 40s, and my arms are sore from going to the gym, my body hurts, but I'm choosing my why. I'm choosing my heart. Is it going to be hard to be in shape? It's also hard to not be in shape. You have 2 sides of the coin. Either one comes with struggles. So which heart are you choosing? And I can very clearly see the influence that you're having as I lead into that, the generation that's to come. It's kind of cool you getting this platform when social media is just fully immersed into the world, right? You can teach some of your eating regimens. You're giving a lot of influence back to the world. People see it, they see what you do, and you're like, hey, this works for me. Then that is very, very big that you're casting for influence. But I'm curious, maybe as time has evolved, I know early days you spoke about parents, support system, siblings. As your days have evolved, has there been a couple influences lately, like in the past couple of years, that has like kept you going, new challenges? Who's your latest influences, if you will?
Wow. Honestly, I think my latest influences outside of my family, because I'm also a very reserved person, believe it or not. Like I've always been, my ideas have always been so big that I've always kept them to myself.
Mhm.
And I just felt like I could never venture outside of certain people, outside of my family, because I was like, okay, I'm going to get criticized for the thoughts and the aspirations that I have.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to keep it to myself. And sometimes that's good, sometimes that's not, so it's also nice to share these things with people,
Hmm.
the right people. And it hasn't been, to be honest, up until speaking to some of the gladiators. I've got the whole team is great, but I was able to really form a bond with two girls. We've got Hurricane and Voltage. And,
Hmm.
we're in a chapter now in our lives where we are on full public display and we're doing something that 0.0000% of the population
Yeah.
ever get a chance to do. So there's not that many people that you can share these things with,
Hmm. Hmm.
we trained together. We were cooped up for a month filming, we were just together all the time.
Family. Yeah. At
Yeah,
this point.
Yeah.
they became family. And
Yeah.
these girls, we became so close prior to even filming. So I knew them from prior, a little
Mhm.
bit. Like one of us met at the combine, another one met because we're both pro bodybuilders and we met at
Mhm.
the show. And so going into this whole ordeal, this whole thing, this whole new chapter with people that I already knew or that I had formed something, even if it was a slight bond with them, was just so much more fulfilling for me because we
Mhm.
really like we saw each other just this past weekend. We were together in Ohio just this past weekend, and it was just like time hadn't passed. We had seen each other the month before.
Yeah. Right.
You make a friendship is like a relationship, right? You got to make sure that you water it and
Yeah.
put time into it. And these girls have their own lives. They're married and they've got, they're doing their things, but we still make time to talk to each other. And
Right.
these girls truly, I would say, have helped inspire me to keep doing what it is that I'm doing.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I think the Empire name is very fitting. Very, very fitting. I love it. It's just spot on. I had to say that. You said something too, Dane, before you take four. Dane, before you take four, I got
Yeah.
to say this. It's very rare that I can give any insights back, but I would tell you when you said the ideas are almost too big, no such thing. No such thing as too big of an
Yeah.
idea. Obviously, the world's a better place because you bet on yourself. And we're so
Yeah.
grateful that you
Absolutely.
started believing on yourself and listening to it. So we're gonna tell you right now, Lou, there's no idea too big. So just know
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Absolutely.
So go ahead, Dane.
Yeah. And you've reached a lot of big heights so far. I can't wait to see how much higher you go.
Me too.
Yeah. To that, I mean, we're about halfway through the year in 2026 here. What do you see going forward now to kind of wrap up the second half of the year? Are there competitions you're going to go to, or there are different events that you're putting together for children, or anything to give that you give back to? What's on the rest of your list for the 2026?
Wow. So, we talked about just before, right? No
Mhm.
ideas too big. And, this idea has been with me for the past 10 years, right? And this is something that I've never said out loud. I've talked to my friends about it. So you guys are getting the exclusive, right?
Okay.
I
Okay.
like to be exclusive. But even on this last podcast, I didn't say this, but for me, things have come to a point where, you have these ideas and you don't know how they're going to come into fruition. And then they start to happen, right? I don't know if you're religious or not, but the
Yes.
universe or God,
Yes.
yes, there we go. So
Absolutely.
God makes it a way for you, right? And I kid you not, I've always admired Oprah, right? I've always admired just whether you like her or not, her
Yeah.
work ethic,
She's
the way
great.
the way that she's able to captivate people, inspire people, leave an impact. She talks, people listen, whether you agree with her or you don't,
Yeah.
but you listen. She's got a presence, she's in the room. And for me, 10 years ago, I was like, I want to be the fitness version of Oprah, whatever that meant, right?
Yeah.
I said, I wanted to be the fitness version of Oprah. And I can honestly tell you that today this is happening, right? And it's not just fitness, right? Fitness is the vehicle that allows for these things to happen. Is what
Mhm.
allowed me to be a gladiator. It allowed me to be a professional bodybuilder and just to look at people and have them look at me like, oh my God, like she looks amazing, right? And then
Yeah.
want to get to know more because then they start to talk to me and it's like she's got a story and she's unapologetic and she's got this energy about her. We want to know more. And at
Right.
the same time, kids are saying that. And I've always been, I've always wanted, if this is going to sound like Miss America, but I've also always wanted to help people. So outside of fitness, I'm a professional in my day-to-day life, professional fitness person and professional, I worked in politics. I now am a director of a nonprofit. And it's always been that I wanted to help people because I knew the struggle that my parents had growing up. They're from a country that's a beautiful country, but it's stigmatized, right? It's like this is a poor country, this. But my parents are the most giving people. And my mother would send all the money in her bank account if she could to go help her family back home. And so I grew up with that as well. Along with the work ethic, it was just having compassion for people who I could have easily been in that situation I could have. That's just the statement.
Yeah.
So leaving an impact, not just in fitness, but in the lives of like community and children and women and just people who just don't have a voice or they have a passion, but they just don't know how to tap into it. And I want to do that. And it's gotten to the point that I know that it's through fitness that I'm able to reach these people. And having this position at my job now, I'm able to reach people in another way. And these are people from the community. These are people from where I grew up. It's a New York City based organization that helps 50,000 children and families. Either, it's a one-stop shop. So if you need dental health, if you need maternal health, if you need food, we have food boxes as well. If you need, mentorship, it's just, you come in and you're like, hey,
That's cool.
It's a checklist and we help you.
That's awesome.
How much realer is that?
Yeah.
And the list just keeps growing. The list of it just keeps growing. And I'm like shaking right now because I'm so
That's so cool
about this stuff. And you can't fake passion. You cannot fake passion. And I want to blend the two. This is the first time in my life where I want to be able to, or I have the opportunity to blend my passion for helping my community and my passion for showing people that it's okay to have muscle. It's okay to be loud. It's okay to have energy. It's okay to be yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Wow.
Lou, first of all, please make sure the links to the nonprofit, please send them to me. I'll make sure we will broadcast the heck out of it. Because I told you, and I meant this, I think it's awesome what you do for fitness, but what you do for the community is 10 times more important. And no disrespect to how great you are as an athlete, but like giving back to people, they always say nobody cares how much you know, no cares how much you know to know how much you care. And the fact that you're more excited, and we can see it in your eye, like, I've won trophies, I've won this, I've been on TV, but you're more excited about helping that kid locally in New York. That's so cool. That's what makes us feel like you are that type of person that deserves all the success that's coming to you.
Yeah.
We're very, very, very big in our faith too. God blesses those that bless others. You spoke about your mom. My mom was talking about giving the last dollar she had. It's always cool how people that don't maybe have the most always give the most. It's so crazy how that works, and God blesses that. It's a law of reaping and sowing. We are learning about that today. So, Lou, all the things that you're doing, it's well deserved, and I think God is blessing you, and it's amazing to see you getting that blessing. You deserve it. So,
100%. Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Please, we'll make sure we share the links. I'll get them with you. And you guys, if you don't, please make sure this is something that I didn't know that they had a nonprofit. I know you help, but I didn't know it was actually out there. So just gives us another reason to be in your corner. We're an even bigger fan than when we started. So I love that. So then we can stop right now, right? It'd be great, but I can't. Lou, I got to go on to something. Even though I'm kind of tearing up because I'm like, this is cool, but I got to transition to a little bit of a lighthearted segment. We're literally 300 episodes deep in this segment that we do called Rapid Fire. So let me explain, okay? I guarantee you in all the media, even on probably with being around The Miz, I guarantee you've never had this type of a segment. We've got 5 questions that we're going to ask you. And what it is Dain and I have already bet on what we think you're going to say. There's no wrong answer. We're going to put 5 questions in front of you, and you pick the right one. If I get it right or Dain gets it right, whoever gets the most right answers, it's less provided by the loser. So there's no wrong answer. It's going to have a personality test about you to see who's closer in line what we think your personality would land. Okay? So, that's scary. You ready, Lou?
I am always.
Okay. So these could be past or present. It could be fiction or reality. These are just 5 questions, and you pick what you feel you would go with. Okay? So question one, we mean this. We're super big on female action stars. Ballerina is one of my favorite movies. My kid and I have watched it like 15 times. I've been a huge fan of just the Kate Beckinsales along the way. Obviously what Halle Berry's done with just so many action movies. I just love it, right? So these two franchises say, Lou, we want you to be the villain. I always like the villain. I think villains are cool in the movies, right? So you're cast to be the villain, leading female villain in these two upcoming reboots. And you can pick which one you want to be in, okay? You can be the villain in the next Mad Max, which is awesome. Love it. Villain in the Mad Max, or you can be the villain in the next chapter of Tomb Raider. Villain, Tomb Raider, which way are you going?
Oh, it's Tomb Raider.
Oh, dude, I had Mad Max. I really did, man. What do you have on that?
Yeah, I had Mad Max because you'd want to see the veins. You want to see the veins popping.
Yeah, so I'll tell you this. I never liked Mad Max because I was like, they're dusty. It's kind of dirty.
I got you. Yeah. But I could see, though, like coming in just like in this cool battle suit, you know, just like coming in, kind of taking on Charlize, you know, type of a thing. I could just see it. Like, it's going down. She's got this crazy, like, axle in her hand, picking up a car, throwing it, you know. So, speaking of strong women. Okay. Well, Dain, we're 0 for 1 on this one. Question 2, okay? Speaking of gladiators, they're doing a kind of a gladiator, American Gladiator type movie. Kind of how Space Jam is done. They're bringing in fictional cartoon characters in this gladiator world. So you get dropped in. You're going to make this movie with one of these two casts as your Looney Tunes style American Gladiator cartoon base. Okay, you can choose the team from Rugrats or Animaniacs to be your American Gladiator cartoon cast. Rugrats, Animaniacs. Which one are you going?
Animaniacs, Wacko. What's his name?
Oh my gosh, dude! Oh my gosh, I
used to watch it.
Yeah. Bonkers or something like that. I forgot his name. I know you're talking about. Yeah.
And then it went right into like Pinky and the Brain or something like that. I watched
Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm striking out. Dan, what'd you have on that one?
I had Animaniacs because it can go any direction. You could be funny, serious, lead them on.
Okay. And you're ahead of me by 1, Dan. Forget it. All right, man. That's cool. I got you. Try to catch up here. So you get called up to give a motivational speak at a college, right? You're coming out and they're like, hey, we want you to come out and speak to the graduating class of 2027. Come out and give a speech, right? Okay. So what they don't tell you is before the show, you're only allowed to address the crowd with song lyrics. Okay. You can't do any other like motivation except the song lyrics. And the two bands you can choose to like give song lyrics, you can give song lyrics from One Direction or from Bon Jovi. One Direction, Bon Jovi, speaking to the crowd with the lyrics. Which way are you going?
It's my life.
Oh, let's go. I kind of gave you that one. Okay, I got you. Dave, what'd you have on that?
Oh, yeah, Bon Jovi.
Absolutely. Okay. I got you. Okay. So, Dain, you got me by 1. I got 2 more. I'm trying to catch up. Okay. Here we go. So 2 more. So you get called to be a celebrity guest host on an upcoming kind of a cooking show, Food Network. I love it. I watch way too much Food Network. And you get to be part of like the Chopped Fit version, right? Where it's like Fit Chop, where okay, everything's healthy, protein, and just like lean-based stuff, right? And you get to choose your co-host to be your like sidekick for the show. They're both very funny in different ways, but you choose which one. Your co-host for the Chopped Fit series can be Jason Momoa or Jack Black. Which way are you going? different physiques, you know what I mean? Love them both, but
I'm gonna have to rock with Jason Momoa.
I actually had Jack Black. I did, man, because it would be like, you know, he'd bring. I don't know. I just had Jack Black. Man, what'd you have on that?
Oh, I'm killing it this week. I had Momoa. Absolutely.
Whatever, man. Whatever, dude. Okay, so okay, I'm not gonna be able to win with the last one. Okay, so the last one. They're writing a novel about you. The Empire Strikes Again, not Strikes Back. A cool title. I made that up. Okay. So Empire Strikes Again, and they're going to put it out and it becomes an audiobook. Okay. So you're best-selling author. They turn your book into an audiobook. And these two dudes are like, hey, Lou, we love what you do. Can I be the narrator for your audiobook? I want to read the book for Audible. You know, kind of how they do celebrities and stuff. It's like James Earl Jones with the Bible, you know, on and on, right? So these two guys say, hey, Lou, I want to read your book for Audible. Love them both. But you can choose between Denzel or Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman, who's going to read your audiobook?
I mean, no disrespect, but the voice of God? Come on.
Let's go. Oh, man. I had Denzel. Oh, my gosh. I'm terrible today, Dain. I had Denzel. What'd you have on that?
Oh, yeah, Morgan Freeman. One of the greatest narrators.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He did some dinosaur show. I was watching it. I'm like, dude, I don't even know what he's saying, but it's cool. It's like pterodactyl or like Mesosacaic or something, but it's just cool listening to him talk. Like, yeah, say it, Morgan. Those big words, say it. It's cool. I like it, you know. No idea what he was talking about, like thoracic or something. I'm like, whatever. You get me. So, okay. Well, Dain, you beat me on that one. So hats off to you, Dain. You got me that time. So thanks, Dain. So, but that's a little segment Lu called Rapid Fire. Hopefully enjoyed that. Something a little different. So a little different.
That was great.
Awesome.
Are we done? You have more?
No. That's in Rapid Fire. I'll get back to Dain for the last segment.
Lu, for this last segment, we call it open mic. We kind of open the floor up to our guests to maybe talk to that next generation of athletes, artists, whatever they want to, the younger generation wants to be. And I mean, you've been so motivating and influential on this episode. We'd ask you to maybe give a couple of words of wisdom to that next generation. So is there maybe a philosophy that you've carried with you or a mantra that you carry that you can maybe pass on to this next generation to help them along their path?
Yeah, I mean, what I've learned over the years, and I developed this thought and these words, or the sentence, I should say, over the last couple of months, and it's basically stop outsourcing your decisions, right? And what that means is it's good to have people. It's good to have people in your corner that you can talk to. But at the end of the day, if you have to ask everyone in your community, every time you have to make a decision, stop. You're never going to get far. You're never going to get far. You know, you're asking your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your cousins, baby's mama's best friend. It's like, stop. I understand that you have a community, which is a beautiful thing, but sometimes God puts something on your heart that you know is just for you.
Yeah.
So you have to ask for validation when you already know what the answer of that question is. So do what you know your calling is. And here's the thing, that's just if you have your calling, if you already know it. If you're still trying to find it, you still find it. And that's fine. You talk to people, you do new things, you expose yourself to different avenues of your life that'll maybe reveal what it is that you should be doing or that, you know, what's right for you. But if you know in your heart that you need to just, let's say, go to the gym tomorrow morning because you need discipline or you have that discipline, don't ask your friend, your sister, you know, whomever, should I go to the gym tomorrow? You already know the answer to that.
Yeah.
So it's the little things like that. Just do it. Do it. And at the end of the day, this is your life, right? You only have that one shot. Sometimes we don't know. You may have multiple shots to get it right, but you know, again, you know what you should be doing. You do it. You do it.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's your life. Listen to yourself. Listen to yourself, right? So
stop waiting for the right time.
And I made notes of it, Lu. I keep thinking about what you said early on, where it's like, if you would have, even though you have mom pulling for you and siblings, if you would have listened to maybe the family that told you no, man, maybe this wouldn't have happened. Maybe if you would let yourself get deflated, I'm glad you didn't, but you had to listen to yourself, had to listen to what you wanted to do. Maybe someone told you the nonprofit wasn't a good idea. Look at it now, right? Hey, this is your heart. And obviously it's helping people. So betting on yourself and a vision and a dream, you know, God always uses people that they say availability doesn't always have to be the same as ability. And when you have both, it's cool, but the availability, listen to it, and then capitalize on it, right, Dain? You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Like they say, you never know what vehicle God's going to put you in. You know, you just travel down the road where he puts you in and help others, carry them along when you need to. And, you know, everything will work out for you if you just follow his lead.
Yeah.
Wow.
100%.
Wow. Lu, I'm telling you, we said when we first started like following you, obviously the body of work that you've created, the community presence, the passion, like you said, you can't fake passion, giving back to those around you. It's contagious. You can tell, you know, mom has passed it on to you. And that's something I always look for, is those that are the happiest people are the ones that are helping others. I've heard that time and time again. Right. And what makes me just go back to what I said about you from the first moment is it's cool. The accolade, the championships, the trophies, the self-worth is there. It's awesome. But the validation of helping others is just 10 times greater. And it's so cool to see that about you, Lu. So obviously honored by what you do. So like I said, please give us the links to the nonprofit. I'll make sure we share the heck out of that. We'll promote that like crazy. Big believers in that. But Lou, we always say once you come on once, you're an alum.
Yep.
So we'd love to have you back anytime in the future as things unfold, as new projects come along, as new
Yeah.
things. Please run it past us. We'll be happy to promote that and share it for you.
Yeah,
Okay?
absolutely.
So,
Oh, absolutely. Thank you guys so much. I mean, this has been an amazing experience, and thank you for reaching out. You know, it's you guys are awesome.
Thank you.
oh,
Really
thank you,
are.
Lou.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lou. We appreciate you. It's been a true honor. I know you're busy, so we'll give some
Yeah.
time back. But let's make sure we stay in touch. Obviously,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
we stay in touch and we'll get the information to you. Much love, and let's make sure we do this again soon. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Thank you. Stay healthy.
thank you, Lou. Much love. Thanks, Lou. Appreciate you. Then I'm telling you, man, just one of a kind. What do you think? Wasn't she awesome? So
Yeah, I love the message, you know, especially with our kids, you know, the teams we're on and we help. You know, it's one of those things where, like she said, motivation's not always there. You know, it only lasts a moment. That discipline is where, you know, you make things happen and you step up your levels. And, you know, there's a thing I always say to Sydney, you know, my daughter, you know, be boring old great. You know, do everything well, keep practicing. And once you reach a certain level, they're going to wonder what happened. You know, you just did the little things continually, and sooner or later it's going to be great.
hmm. Just doing the same thing, but doing it extraordinarily every time. You know, when she spoke
Yeah,
about, you could see that twinkle in her eye, man. It's cool because, like, we mentioned some of the stuff for the show, gladiators and different things,
yeah,
but you saw the twinkle just really, hey, here's what I'm
yeah,
doing for my nonprofit, for people in my area. Mom kind of taught me this to give back, and
yeah,
I was like, this is what her passion is. You know, it's cool
yeah,
using the avenue where she's so blessed to have that avenue. She got there
yeah,
obviously, you know, the social side, but to be able to use that platform for good to help others,
yeah,
it never gets old. Good things never get
absolutely.
tired. It never gets old hearing about people doing good in the world,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
I love that. So
And I feel honored that she was able to mention that for the first time on this show. So
yeah, yeah.
thank you for that.
I'm glad she said it because I'm not going to be quiet about it. I'm going to promote the heck out of it, Dan. So
Yeah,
you know how we do.
yeah.
So,
Oh,
but no, that's
absolutely.
I'm telling you guys, it was a great one. Obviously, please watch the show. Follow Lu Faustin Pro on Instagram. She'll make you want to go work out. She's a tough
Yeah,
gal. She's very motivating. Even when you're not motivated, watch Lou. You'll get motivated. I'm telling you.
yeah,
And then we'll get the links out to her nonprofits as well. So, you guys, that was a gem. That was a great way to start
yeah.
off the
Love that.
week. Got a lot of good stuff coming. A whole bunch of stuff for June coming up. Got some great, a whole bunch of things we can't even get into right now because we're still waiting on some content to wrap up. So, guys, on behalf of Dain and Josh, don't forget, as always, that we love you. And Dain,
Thank you for listening.